Guitar warm-up number 16. We're jumping right into the E minor pentatonic scale. If you guys need help with this, we broke it down a couple videos ago. All right, 70 BPM. 3 and 4 and 4. So I'm going to be doing loops on this one. So I know that I've done this one a little bit, but it's good for me to just practice it. And then tonight I'll shoot some loop videos, or tomorrow I'll shoot some loop videos. And then we'll break down these other positions today. So in a lot of ways, these lives just are a good prep for me. You know, kind of like get out some of the bugs now, and then tonight when I shoot, it'll be a lot easier for me. 3. Let's jump into that second position. So it looks like we left that off at 70 BPM. Let's do a little run through. All right, I'm going to slow that back to 60 just so I can focus on that all and not feel rushed. And 4 and 1. Let's go by 6s, just for fun. Change it up. 3, 4, 1, and 2, and 3. these warm-ups thinking about, why am I doing these? Obviously, I want to get better at my scales. Getting these in my fingers allow me, coming up with improvisational stuff quicker. And here's your test for you as you're doing it. My fingers are staying nice on the fretboard, right? There's no flailing about. 3 years ago, if I would have played this, I would have been like... And I wish that was an exaggeration, but it's really not. So just sitting here and getting this nice kind of feeling and sensation where everything's accessible to you. Nobody's getting far out of the way. And it might seem ridiculous that I'm starting at 60, but 60 allows me to think these things through. Trying to make every note sound the same. And actually, I'm really not even concerned about that right away. Just really having that hand, my left hand, be relaxed. And everything's where it needs to be, so as soon as I start speeding it up, I'm not going to kind of throw myself for a loop. So let's go we'll go up to 70. Just keep it the same as everything else. So same thing. I'm not really concerned about getting up to fast speeds right now. I'm concerned with getting this learned. And the minute I start to fall apart or my left hand is getting wonky, well, then I know I'm going too fast. I'm really not learning it. And then 3, 4. I guess if I did the last one at 80, I'll do this one at 82. So actually, we'll go 76, which seems ridiculous because then I'm going to do 80. But it is what I'm going to do. 1, 2, 3, 4. Didn't hit the last note, but that's okay. All right, 80. So again, here's the point that I'm trying to make with this all. This is maybe my third day of doing E minor pentatonic. The first day I did it, probably at 40 BPM, and I sucked. I stunk. It's terrible. Find more words to describe how bad I was. But now I'm at 80, and it's pretty easy for me, right? So it's just doing it day in and day out, putting the time in, doing stuff that you're not good at. And for me, there's an extra bonus of doing this live because it's all kind of like, I would say not anxiety, but like anticipation of screwing up. So maybe anxiety. Like it's really good for me because it forces me to do it. Maybe it helps you guys too. I hope it does. But it just changes how you're playing. And you're playing with all this extra, maybe not extra pressure, but definitely some extra pressure. And it just, I don't know, helps. That's my rambling for today. I'll describe at some point why it helps. Maybe just being forced and saying I'm going to do something and not sucking. Fourth position, which I'm bad at yet, because I've not touched this since I've done this last. So right away, let's turn it into those just little 2-note segment or 2-string segments, and we're gonna bring it back down to 50. Get these parts down, and then speed it up from there. 2 and 1 and. Sure, I then went. Oh, 7. So I'm making the same point that I made on the second position. I'm not good at this one right yet, but by putting this time in right now, whether it be live or not, doesn't really matter, but just oftentimes easier to force myself to do this live. I need a good warm up in. All right. So 3 and 4 end of the fourth position. 3 and 4 and. So I'm never feeling good about that 8. All right, I might just run through the whole thing. It's starting to click a little bit. I'm sure there'll be some string fumbling, some finger fumbling throughout, but, you know, learn from my mistakes. I faintly do remember playing this with my 4th finger last time. So I probably. And again, I don't care a ton because I think both are great ways to do it. If I can be like flexible in how I want to do this, that's long term better. So I don't know. I don't know how I did that. We'll find out at some point. Again, whatever feels most natural to you, and what to me is what I'm going to do. So right now it's that. Let's continue to go up by sixes. Now I might even though down the road like write, hey, I might write a little 3 above that if I'm using my third finger or fourth finger. If I feel like it's like, shoot, I can't continue to go faster unless I change up my fingering, then it's worth me writing in. And 4 and all right. 62. Same thing. I might switch up my finger in a little bit. I might not. We'll find out. All right, let's go 68. And 4 and 1 and 2 So what I thought was funny there is I kept on switching up between the pinky on the 7 or the 8 and sometimes playing the third. But we'll find out what I like. All right. So, and fine leaving it there because that's a good 20 minutes on that. Let's just get this new position into my fingers and do your fingers as well. Another one that don't think I've ever played before, or if I have, it's happenstancely. So 7th fret. So right away that just seems very natural, right? and then actually no, I'd want to use my second finger there. Just because then my first is all set for that. Now, so the only one that I think is going to trip me up right away is the 7, 9, 8, 10. So let's just do that. Let's slow it down quite a bit. Now again, I'm redundant, right, to a fault. But because of the work we've done on arpeggios, because of the work we've done on that finger buzz, so this is number what, 16? All the cumulative work, I can't speak today or any day, has paid off. And like now, you know, you see this and you're like, okay, well, I kind of know what the pattern wants to be, right? The same thing's going to happen when you start to pick up songs that have these licks in them. All of a sudden you're going to be like, oh crap, I don't need to spend a lot of time learning this because I've seen this 100 times. All right. 50 might be too slow, but let's find out. 2 and 3 and 4 and... Just a little bit of a handoff between the fingers. It's enough to just spend some time on. So you're going first, third, second, fourth, first, third, second, fourth. That one feels natural enough. I don't think I have to do it. So let's just see if I can play this whole scale. Is that right? I'm doubting how I'm reading it. 7, 10, 7, 10, 7, 10, 7. So I often find, like, I just did a bass one of these like half an hour ago. My brain gets tired. Now, your brain gets tired from practicing, right? Like I did a 40-minute bass video. This is at 25 minutes, about 23 minutes. So you just, practice wears you out a little bit. But doing these live, I almost get a little bit more worn than I would. And I kind of hope that's a muscle that just develops. But you start to read stuff that's not there. The pattern is hard to see sometimes. All right, just rambling at this point. And 3 and 4 and then 2 and 3 and 4. Let's go up to 56, and then that's enough to like, all right, so we did 3 good scales, and then this one's just new, getting into your fingers, and then move on. let's do a little bit of funk and then call it a day. So just to reiterate myself on this funk, I'm going to keep on doing this 1 and 2 all mute idea first because I just need to clean some stuff up. And I'm not going to do it by doing 1 and 2 over and over again. I need to start with this and then grow from that. And 3 and that's not the right one. All right. And maybe I need to start pushing tempos a little bit on this now too. Understand that I am still sloppy on it, but if I start beating it up, when I go back to the 50, I'll be able to clean it up. Not staying on 50 forever. Because I think in these videos I need to see some progression, and you probably need to see some progression too. And 4. 1 and So the reason I keep on stopping and going back to just mutes, oftentimes that 2E and I'll rush into 3. 2E and 3. 2E and 3. 2E. Actually, let's do that. 3E and 2E and 3E and 2E and 2E and 3. Do a poor job of reading that right now. The whole thing. 3 and a 4 and a mute. The idea that I need to improve and go faster. Let's hit 2, and then tomorrow I'm gonna do 60, 55, 56, somewhere in there. 3 and a 4 and a 1. Some mutes. let's just do 56 on both of these today. And actually, we'll move that. Mutes. So again, a little sloppy, something I need to spend some more time on, and probably not at the end of warm-ups. So my plan, loosely I'm cultivating in my own head, is another couple of weeks on those E minor arpeggios, then take a couple of weeks off. When I take those weeks off from that, just hit funk for a solid 2 weeks, and that will cure probably most of my ills. And a full, and a mutes. That's enough for today. A lot of what I have to think about while I'm playing that funk exercise is not letting the left hand control what the right hand's thinking and doing, and giving myself enough mental space for that groove, but also not letting my brain be tired, right? Approaching something like this at the end of 2 live sessions is taxing for me. Like, I'm ready to go take a nap, and that's cool and legit and fine, but I'm not going to have as much growth. Glad I did it. Gonna keep doing it this way, but I'm gonna switch it up where I give this a chance to be a priority to fix some of those things. Otherwise, you're gonna see like 7 months of these videos and be like, motherfucker, please stop. All right, on that note,